All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for joining us on this memorable and special day for Vanderbilt athletics, especially our Vanderbilt basketball programs. I'm Kevin Ingram. I'm the radio announcer for our Vanderbilt men's program. It is my great pleasure to welcome you as we dedicate the Huber Center. This is a beautiful place, and just so looking forward to everyone seeing it and enjoying what our basketball teams have already started to enjoy. A state-of-the-art basketball practice facility was a cornerstone of Vandy United when the historic campaign was launched 4 years ago. And I remember Candace and I sat down and we looked at the blueprints and the renderings with the Populous architect and the project manager, the guy who's leading the building of this. And I remember thinking, as we made a video about all of that, if it looks like that, this is going to be the greatest facility of its kind in the country. It looks exactly like that, and it is the most beautiful and greatest facility of its kind for basketball in this country. So from those blueprints and renderings, the place we see before us was brought to life through the generosity of George and Kathy Huber. They are here with us today, and so many of you who are here today and across Commodore Nation. And like Vanderbilt itself, this facility is one of a kind. Coming up, we're going to hear more about what today means from our Chancellor, Daniel Diermeyer, our Vice Chancellor for Athletics and University Affairs and Athletics Director, Candace Story-Lee, George Huber, a proud member of the class of 1979, and his wife, Kathy, as I mentioned, they're here today, and our head coaches, Shay Ralph and Mark Byington. And then after these remarks, the open house will begin. You can tour the facility, get in a lift, put up some jumpers, whatever you like to do. Just make sure you enjoy it and see all of it, because it is really cool and special. So let's welcome the people that you want to hear from most when it comes to Vanderbilt athletics. It's my privilege to introduce someone whose vision for college athletics within the great university of the 21st century helped make today possible. An internationally renowned political scientist and management scholar, Daniel Diermeyer is the 9th Chancellor of Vanderbilt University. Since joining Vanderbilt back in 2020, Chancellor Diermeyer has led an ambitious program of growth and advancement. He's driven efforts to become the destination for leading faculty and the most promising students, and creating a culture of radical collaboration and personal growth for Vanderbilt's faculty, students, and staff, and to expand Vanderbilt's global presence. So please welcome and join me in welcoming Chancellor Daniel Diermeyer.
Well, thank you, Kevin, for the kind introduction, and good afternoon, everyone, for day it is. We're here today to dedicate this beautiful new basketball operations center and facility, and to thank and celebrate everyone who helped make the facility a reality through their profound generosity. We especially offer our deep gratitude to George and Kathy Huber for their extraordinary gift and their commitment to Vanderbilt basketball and our university. Thank you, Kathy and George. George and Kathy join us today from Los Angeles. We are so thankful that they were able to make the trip, and our hearts go out to the many neighbors who have been affected by the devastating wildfires there. Today we also thank John Ingram, Jennifer and Billy Frist, former trustee Jay Hoke, and our anonymous donors for their transformative support of Vandy United. In all we do at Vanderbilt, we proceed from our long-held belief that we can create more impact and realize exponentially more of our potential by working together. 4 years ago, we launched Vandy United to reimagine the future of Vanderbilt athletics and hold ourselves to the standard of excellence that guides us always. Since then, our remarkable athletic director and triple door, Candace Story-Lee, has translated the Vandy United vision into action at every level. We need only look around us to see the new chapter she and we are writing. Guided by the same bold ambition, head coaches Mark Byington and Shay Ralph are already helping our student athletes dare to grow within the walls of this building. And as I like to say, at Vanderbilt, we beat Harvard during the week and Tennessee on the weekends. And what thrilling games they were. And what incredible wins fueled, I have no doubt. These wins were fueled by the unparalleled memorial magic. The values our coaches and student athletes champion are values we hold dear at Vanderbilt. Hard work and courage, continual growth, equal measures of challenge and support, and selflessly coming together in pursuit of a greater common purpose. In form and spirit, the Huber Center embodies our effort to build the great university of the 21st century, a place where the best and brightest will realize their full potential. I'm grateful to George and Kathy for sharing this vision. Now, the Huber Center is where memorial magic begins, and perhaps March Madness as well. I look forward to our One Vanderbilt community experiencing even more of that magic this season, and to our teams bringing us all together as one community, as only athletics can. Many thanks again to all of you. Enjoy this most special occasion and anchor down.
Well, thanks so much, Chancellor, for your inspiring words and, of course, your leadership here at Vanderbilt. Our next speaker knows better than anyone that competing for championships on the court can really spark a lifelong journey of pioneering leadership and service off the court. An SEC champion as a member of the women's basketball program, Candace Story-Lee earned her undergraduate, master's, and PhD degrees from the Vanderbilt Peabody College of Education and Human Development. I always tell her she should wear like those SEC graduate patches, like, 3 of them. But she is a proud product of Vanderbilt experience who's continued to serve student athletes across more than 3 decades. An inspirational and caring leader and a trailblazing figure in college athletics, allow me to introduce Vice Chancellor for Athletics and University Affairs and our Athletics Director, Candace Story-Lee.
Thank you, Kevin. And special thanks to Chancellor Dearmeyer for not just being here today, but for every day that we've been on this journey that we began nearly 5 years ago. We proclaimed the highest aspirations for Vanderbilt athletics, and then we set out to do what was necessary to bring that vision to life. With incredible support, an aggressive approach, and a relentless commitment to reaching our potential, today represents an important milestone. I want to extend my gratitude to everyone here today as we celebrate this special moment together. And you're going to hear a lot of the same thanks, but honestly, you cannot give enough gratitude. Welcome to the new home of men's and women's basketball. Now, of course, we would not have this beautiful building without the generous support of George and Kathy Huber. The Hubers are wonderful people and passionate supporters of Vanderbilt. They're consistently motivated by supporting areas where they believe they can have the greatest impact. And they do so with a joy and a sense of humor that I admire and really enjoy. George and Kathy, your generosity is a blessing, not just to Vanderbilt basketball, but to all of us who care deeply about this university. Another round of applause for the Hubers, please. I'd also like to echo the Chancellor's thanks to John Ingram, to Jennifer and Billy Friss, to the Hogues, and to several generous anonymous donors for their support of Vandy United. I'd also like to thank Mark Carter and his team with the National Commodore Club, and all of the alumni, fans, and supporters who have contributed. We are also thankful to the architects at Populous who designed this facility, the team at Barton Mallow, the multiple subcontractors and other supporting entities, and our campus partners in planning, design, and construction. You see, it truly was a dream team that came together to create the Huber Center, and the result, as you can see, is magnificent. I can say with complete confidence that there is no better basketball facility in the nation. That's a bold statement, I know, and although I know a little bit about basketball, you don't have to take my word for it. A lot of people have said it, including some professional basketball players, non-Vanderbilt affiliated, so they have no dog in this fight, who have said that this is the best facility that they've ever worked out in. It truly is the best, and that is fitting. This is a facility that suits the new Nashville in style and substance. It's a facility that suits a university that dares to grow in so many ways. It's a facility worthy of the history and tradition of Vanderbilt men's and women's basketball. One of our guiding principles when planning our Vandy United projects is to ensure that each one is a tangible representation of our values. Well, here at Vanderbilt, among other things, we value community and innovation and excellence. The Huber Center and its many amenities equip our coaches and our student athletes with everything they need to succeed. The outside of the building enhances the game day experience in First Bank Stadium. We were clever in our attempt to maximize every bit of space in our footprint. Inside this building, the space that's allocated to both teams is identical. The smallest of details have been taken into account to maximize efficiencies for our student athletes. And the building also boasts multiple spaces that can be activated for different uses and do so without disturbing the day-to-day core activities of our teams. Everything you see was done with great intention and care. And the Huber Center, as the Chancellor said, is an incredible counterpart for Memorial Gymnasium. Now we have the best of both worlds. We have a legendary, quirky, historic gym that gives us a home court advantage like no other in the country. There's nothing like Memorial Magic, and that is a tradition that we treasure. And now we have the best equipped, uniquely placed, and most visually striking practice facility in America. With that combination, there's nothing we can't achieve. That's our goal, not just for our basketball programs, but for all of our programs. You've seen our investments in First Bank Stadium and the Legends Golf Club. We're also investing in Hawkins Field and the Lummis Tennis Facility and every other corner of the Frist Athletics Village. Together, with Chancellor Diermeier's support, we're making a statement that Vanderbilt is serious about competing at the highest level. We are here to win. We admire these facilities. We're so grateful for them, but their sparkle is really just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface, there have been years of hard work, of faith, and of collective vision by so many people. It's that long-term approach to building something special that results in moments like this. So to everyone who's been a part of that work, fans, students, coaches, faculty, staff, alumni, administration, student athletes, architects, construction workers, donors, the Huber family, I thank you for what you've done to make today possible. Welcome to a new era of Vanderbilt basketball. Welcome to the Huber Center. Anchored down.
Well, thanks so much, Candace, for your remarks and all you do for Vanderbilt athletics. Really cool to be here and be a part of this today. Well, George Huber isn't just this facility's namesake. He is the embodiment of the Dare to Grow spirit that guides our basketball programs and this university. Huber is a Vanderbilt alumnus who graduated with a degree in business administration in 1979. He also received an MBA with honors from the University of Michigan. He's been actively involved in the Vanderbilt community throughout his years as an alum, including as Reunion 2024 General Chair, and he serves as a trustee on the Vanderbilt Board of Trust. He's also served on the Athletics Campaign Cabinet and hosted Commodore Summer Send-Off launch events. A dedicated supporter of Vanderbilt athletics, a lifelong passion for basketball, he and Kathy have established several scholarships and several years ago helped transform the men's basketball locker room over at Memorial Gymnasium next door. When not cheering on the Commodores, he has more than 40 years of business investment and management experience. And to echo what our Chancellor said, really grateful and moved to have George and Kathy with us today. Residents of the Palisades neighborhood in Los Angeles, and they and their friends and neighbors really affected by the terrible wildfires out there in Southern California. So we're so appreciative that they're here today. And the Vanderbilt family will certainly keep all of those affected in our thoughts. We welcome this opportunity to come together and not only celebrate the Huber Center, but also embrace two of our own. It's my great honor to introduce George and Kathy Huber.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you everyone for coming here. Kevin said that I'm a lifelong fan, and the reason that he had to say that as opposed to a lifelong player is I have to tell you the story that in 8th grade, my former best friend was the star of the basketball team. And I'm from Indiana, and it was back in the dark ages where they didn't have AAU basketball or youth basketball. 7th grade was the first time that you tried out for a team. And, you know, back then, if you dribbled, you could make the team. I got cut the first day. I told my best friend I would guard him. I fouled him so much, he got cut. He no longer was my best friend. The next year, he was star of the team. So ever since then, I've become a fan and not a player. But I really do love Vanderbilt. Part of the reason I love Vanderbilt, when we went here, the F Troop, great basketball memories. Some of my best friends in life, one of them right here, Bob Boston is here, have been made at Vanderbilt. One of our sons, Tyler Huber, is a graduate from Vanderbilt. My son Lee Huber is here. He's a Nashville resident, has become #1 Vanderbilt fan. Vanderbilt is an incredibly special place. Part of the reason it's become even more special now is because of our Chancellor, that those of you who don't know him, at least I'm sure have heard what an amazing individual he is. He's brilliant, visionary, huge out-of-the-box thinker, and he is accomplishing making Vanderbilt the great university of the 21st century. So when he and our truly amazing athletic director, Candace Lee, who I have to say I'm fortunate to call a very good friend of mine, and I love her to death. When the two of them asked me to meet and see whether Kathy and I would be willing to give money to help with this building, it was really easy to say yes because of all it meant. But what it really was is not just us, but as has been mentioned, so many of you out there that have contributed through Vandy United. So I would like to thank all of you for all you did, because everyone has made this possible. So I'd love everybody to give all of the donors a hand. When Kathy and I decided to do it, a big part of the reason we wanted to do it was because of the student athletes and what the student athletes mean to Vanderbilt University. They are certainly a face of the university, and I think that our student athletes have a solely unique place in student athletics, that with our coaches, whether it's our women's soccer coach or our football coach or our baseball coach, it's a really unique place for student athletes to come, as we all know. First of all, academics, best academics around. We know that our athletes, if they come here, they will, if they don't turn pro, which many of them do, they will have great job opportunities, great professions, whatever they are deciding to do. If it's not professional sports, they have that going for them. Secondly, SEC. We all know it is the best conference out there. As I said, I'm from Indiana. I went to Michigan. I used to think the Big Ten was good. Hands down, SEC is by far better than it. Our athletes get to play there. Thirdly, Nashville has been mentioned, just such a dynamic city. It is an unbelievable place for our athletes to be able to showcase their skills and enjoy themselves. As it relates to basketball, our two basketball coaches, you know, Mark, I've got to know very well, and he, as I'm sure you all have seen, you know, Vanderbilt was picked last in the SEC. I've seen that the SEC has been said to be the toughest men's basketball conference in the history of men's basketball. He is just killing it out there. We're competing with the best, beating Tennessee. We're clearly going to beat Kentucky this weekend. Mark has done an unbelievably good job. And Shay, our women's basketball coach, I don't know as well, but I have to tell you, the first time that I met her, she came and she spoke to the board. And I remember telling Kathy afterwards, I was so fired up after hearing her speak. I was going to jump in. If she wanted me to jump in a pool of sharks, I would have done it. Run through hot coals, I would have done it. She is the most motivating woman's coach I have ever talked to, and she's obviously a great reason why our women's basketball team is doing so well. And then finally, this facility and all the facilities that we've done with the new football stadium, this basketball facility, Memorial Gym, everything that's happening with Vanderbilt, to me, says that our student athletes have the best opportunity of anywhere in the country. And I think that the challenge that we will have, and particularly you, Mark and Shay, will be all the recruits that you're going to have to say no to, because without a doubt, with you all and everything that's happening here, it's going to be the #1 place to go. So thank you all for that. Kathy?
I just wanted to tell a little bit of my Vanderbilt journey. When I first met George, we used to debate, and the two of us can debate, whose university was better. And whether it was sports or prettiest campus or the best libraries, fraternity, sorority, we'd go back and forth and back and forth. And then a few years down the way, my stepson went to school here, so we started spending more time at Vanderbilt, and George got more involved with Vanderbilt. And with Tyler being here, I saw firsthand just what an amazing school and what the leaders of Vanderbilt have been able to create for the students. I feel like every student has the best possibility to thrive here, from the smallest detail to the Dare to Grow campaign. You've really created a special place, and we no longer debate who went to the best university, and I'm just really proud to be part of a tiny, tiny little part of the Vanderbilt family. So, thank you.
Anchor down.
Well, thanks so much, George and Kathy, for being here and for those remarks and doing so much to give our final speakers the opportunity to really accomplish some special things in the months and years to come. Shay Ralph was named the 6th head coach in Vanderbilt women's basketball history a few weeks after the Vandy United campaign officially launched. But if there was ever a coach who embodies the spirit of Vandy United and reimagining what is possible for Vanderbilt athletics, it is Coach Ralph. We all saw it last weekend against Tennessee back on Sunday, the 1-point win. Our team can compete with any team in the country. Michaela Blake's putback proved they will compete into the final tenths of a second. And a year ago, Coach Ralph, of course, engineered one of the biggest program turnarounds in the history of Vanderbilt women's basketball. Won 23 games, got back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 10 years, won a game when they got there, and that sets the stage for what's ahead. Coach Ralph's Commodores will continue to build on that foundation. They enter Sunday's road game against Alabama with a 16-4 record, 500 in the SEC, another tough league, of course. An All-American, a 7-time national champion as a student athlete and coach, Shay is teaching Commodores to be champions on and off the court. Mark Byington's team provided the first half of that Tennessee sweep back on Saturday. That was a lot of fun, too, a 1-point victory. Their own fight to the finish against the team that was ranked number 6 in the country. We saw Memorial Magic on display next door. But not long after he was introduced as the men's basketball head coach last spring, Coach Byington said he didn't want to talk about rebuilding. New fans just didn't want to hear that again. And so with that in mind, he wanted fans to love this team, and that required success on the court, and we have seen it. That Tennessee win, just the latest and most thrilling example of how quickly he's helped this group of young men, talented individuals, become a selfless, cohesive team. And Coach Byington, everywhere he's been, he's made quick work of winning. One of the game's brightest innovators, teams are really easily identifiable by their energy, their toughness, their fun style, fast-paced basketball. He talked about all that when he was hired, and we have seen it on the court already. Under his direction, the Commodores have already exceeded last year's win total even before getting to winter break. They entered tomorrow afternoon's game against Kentucky with a 15-4 record and right outside the top 25. So that's not just rebuilding, just like Coach Ralph. That is daring to grow. So please welcome me and joining our basketball coaches, our women's coach Shay Ralph, and our men's basketball head coach Mark Byington.
Hi, everyone. Really excited to be here today to dedicate this amazing building that we get the opportunity to live and breathe in and experience on a day-to-day basis now. Like everyone else here has said, I don't think that there could be enough gratitude given. First and foremost, Chancellor Dearmeyer and Dr. Candace Story-Lee. They're the reason that I'm here. I think one of you guys used the word visionary. And you can see in everything that we do here that there's a clear vision to the relentless commitment to maximizing our full potential as human beings. And for me, that allows me to create this opportunity that I don't think our student athletes could experience anywhere else in the world. And along with that, George Huber and Kathy Huber, thank you so much for all of the things that you have contributed, not only in just material, but in heart and vision as well, and for inspiring the community to do the same. Because what you have created for our student athletes is a day-to-day representation of what is possible in terms of what they can achieve on and off the basketball court. I can't speak to it enough. I would love to tour you guys around when this is all over and show you. I think we're still practicing upstairs. They were really happy that we had this right in the middle of practice, and I had to step out. But I would love to take y'all back up there. You can help me coach and get them ready for next week. But this building is exactly why I knew that Vanderbilt was the perfect place, not only for me, but to build the championship program that everybody here wants us to be and knows that we can be. And so thank you to everyone. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, Candace. Thank you, Huber family. Thank you, community, for making my job a little easier and for giving our student athletes everything that they could desire and deserve.
I'm so excited this day came, and now you all can see what we've had a chance to, to live in the last couple months. We got in here about mid-December, still with construction, but we were just so excited to get in here. I could tell you how excited I was to get in here. There's a Starbucks right here, and every single day I had a circle path, and I might have broke some codes coming in here, checking every day on construction without a hard hat, but I couldn't wait to get in here. And the same thing with my team. It's state-of-the-art facility. We have absolutely everything. The technology, the training. When you have a chance to walk around and you see the weight room, it's the nicest weight room I've ever seen, regardless of sports. It's absolutely incredible. And you get to the training room with the hydrotherapy, the different things we have over there. Just taking care of our student athletes the best possible way. And, just kind of when I'm in my interview process, I think people knew I was interviewing a couple of different jobs. And one of the jobs before Vanderbilt talked about they were building a new facility. And I asked them, I said, well, how close is it to being done? They said, they haven't broke ground yet. And Candace came in my interview process, and she pulled out the blueprints of this. And I was expected to be the same thing. That be something that years down the line, and they're still trying to buy the land and everything else, and she says no, it's almost finished. And getting here, really, you see the blueprints, you see the videos, you see everything. You're probably like me. Once you see in person, it's better than you can really imagine. So there's just the excitement of being in here and what it does for our program. It's already helped our recruiting. There are so many things you need. I mean, the last 3 games we had, we're going against the 4th-ranked team in the country, the 6th-ranked team, and the 8th-ranked team in the country. And so they got different things that they're bragging about and everything else, but they're not going to say they have a better training facility than us. And so it's part of us building our program up. When they come here, they're excited. They see it. Every day our team practices in here. You can just see the energy and the body language you have and just being able to work in here. So It is tremendous to be a part of this and to be able to work in a place like this every day. It makes, when I jump out of bed in the morning, I can't wait to get here. So there's a couple other things. Everybody's mentioned this, and it can't go, it needs to be stated again. The generosity of the Huber family. And George and I, we've gotten a chance to get to know each other, and he's obviously invested, but I can tell you he really cares. We got beat by Missouri a week and a half ago, and I had 3 text messages after the game. And now we win a game, I got hundreds. And one of them was from Candace. She's always on my back. And then one of them was from my mom. And the third one was from George. And that meant a lot to me, spirit and the support and everything else. And so, his name, the family's name's on here, but they're more deeply invested in that. The way they care, they give, and they show it in their actions in a lot of different ways. So can't wait to show you all around. Really excited. You put a little pressure on me. You're just like, we're going to beat Kentucky tomorrow, and I just want to make sure you're not taking the building back if we don't beat Kentucky. Like I felt, somebody asked how do I feel right now on this past week, and the thing that popped in my head is I feel like a bobblehead right now. I feel like just kind of getting beat up, going along, and win some, lose some, and but this is huge for us, huge for our program, huge for Vanderbilt, and obviously the vision of Candace and our Chancellor, and I'm fortunate to be a part of it, and I know it and I appreciate it, and thank you all. Anchor down.
All right, that will conclude this part of our dedication ceremony. Thanks to our coaches, Coach Byington and Coach Rao, for being here and for those remarks. And again, everyone, the Hubers, of course, and all of the folks who helped make this building possible, and all our speakers who have been with us today. So with that, I'll remind you again, Vanderbilt men's basketball against Kentucky, 1:30 tomorrow over next door at Memorial Gym. Pregame at 1 o'clock. Coach Byington's interview around 1:20. Vanderbilt women's basketball plays on Sunday at Alabama. All the best to both of our teams. Looking forward to some big victories this weekend. And now looking forward to everybody seeing our building. So enjoy the tour and anchor down, and thanks for being here.